that everything is fine, and I hope that you can hear me well, and I hope that you can see me well. So, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Eleftheria. Thank you very, very much for joining me. This is the first time that I'm doing a live Q&A, so I'm feeling a little bit anxious, but I hope that everything will go all right. Okay, now I can see your messages. Hello, hello, hello. If you see me like looking left or right, it's because I have my monitors left or right, so I want to check different things. And if I'm looking into that direction, is because I can see your questions and your chat, and we want to be as much as interactive as we can, and that's why I also took this initiative to start doing live Q&As, because I used to do Q&As. If you check my channel, I do have a lot of Q&As, but I think that if it's more interactive, if I say something and then you can reply, and then somehow we can chat, and maybe I say something as an answer, but it's not exactly what you asked, or you need more details, and I think that in this way it's going to be easier, and I think that it's going to be better for you as well. So for those of you who don't know me, as I said, my name is Eleftheria. I know it's a bit difficult to be pronunciated, but in my country, and I'm coming from Greece because also a lot of people are asking me that, so in my country my name means freedom or liberty, so I guess this is also kind of cool. And I am working as an app developer, so a few things about my background. I work as an app developer and front-end developer. This is my main job, but I'm also doing a master's in graphical arts and multimedia, and this is more focused on design, so UI design and UX research. And also some people believe that I am self-taught, which is almost true, but I have also graduated from an engineering university, so my major is in informatics and telecommunications of engineering, so I guess that's kind of cool, or at least I like it. And I think pretty much that's all about me. And again, if you have new viewers, hi, I would like to see all of you into the comments, into the chat. And I have prepared some questions. You can see them in the TXT right here. I hope that you can read that easily. I tried to make the letters big so you could see them, the font size big. And I think that we can start. Okay, are we cool? Let's do that. So the most common question that I get from people is how to start with 100 days of code. And if you're not familiar with the challenge of 100 days of code, it's a challenge where you basically code for 100 days straight. And in that 1 hour, you're trying to be as more productive as you can. The purpose of doing that challenge is getting into the habit of coding every day. And the way to do it is that every day you obviously code something. There isn't anyone that will tell you what to code, because I also take that question a lot, what to code. There isn't anyone that will tell you what exactly you should code. For me, you should code whatever you want, whatever you want to learn, and stuff like that. For example, when I started doing the challenge of 100 days of code, I knew that I wanted to be a front-end developer. And back then, when I did the challenge, I wasn't a front-end developer. I was just doing my internship. I was kind of working as a front-end developer, but my knowledge and my skills weren't good enough. So I wasn't good enough to find a job, and my goal was to find a job. So I thought, what's the first thing that I should do to find a job? And that should be to improve my skills. And I tried to do that, so that's why I took up the challenge. So, God, I'm talking too much. Guys, if I'm talking too much, let me know and I can talk less about a specific subject or a specific question. Okay, so let's get back to the question, which is how to start 100 days of code. So in that challenge, as I said, you code for 1 hour for 100 days. And every day you go to Twitter, you use the hashtag 100 days of code, and you write down what you did, and also you upload your code on GitHub. So this will help you eventually build a portfolio. I know that a lot of people are not very familiar with GitHub, and maybe they afraid of kind of doing that. But also GitHub is like, let's say, inside the game. GitHub is something that you should learn if you want to be a developer. So I think that by starting the challenge and by starting using GitHub, it will also help you learn GitHub, and it will definitely help you build a portfolio, which, guess what? Most of the people out there, most of the bosses, of the hiring managers, people that work on the HR, they want to see your portfolio. So I think that it's quite important to have something to show to them. Okay, so that's what I also did. Now for the question which says like what to code on the challenge. As I said, pretty much you can code whatever you want. There is no one that will tell you code that, this or that. I started working more with FreeCodeCamp, so I was taking the challenges from FreeCodeCamp and I was integrating them through 100 days of code. I have met some people through Twitter that they think that the only way to do the challenge of 100 days of code is by doing FreeCodeCamp. No, that's not the case. Maybe like a lot of people are using FreeCodeCamp and doing simultaneously the challenge, but this doesn't mean that these two things are connected. Okay? Okay. I just saw a question. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to copy your question. And guys, like, please do ask me questions. Like, as I said, I want to do this as interactive as possible. So, like, write everything down and I will copy that and I will have them into my TXT so we can work more into that. So really, thanks for the questions. Just please be patient so we can go through everything, okay? That's the only thing that I want. And okay, so now let's go to the second question, which is about freelancing. I actually got like a lot of questions from people that they were asking me stuff about freelancing, and I get it because now we also have COVID. More and more people are looking for jobs remotely or looking for a freelancing job, which I think that it's like really cool. But there are some problems. And please like bear with me. The problems are that if you are too junior and if you don't have a portfolio, if you don't have a lot of skills, it will be difficult for you to find a freelancing job. And this is because there are so many people, like so many people that are also trying to find a freelancing job. So what I'm trying to say is that you have to be good. Obviously, start applying to jobs. You don't have like to have all the skills in order to apply into a job, but also, again, I don't want to be the bad guy here. Also, just be a little bit like realistic. The thing is, and like think of that of yourself, that if you are a boss, let's say, or if you are a company that's looking for a person, you want to take someone that it's reliable, that you know that he or she will do the job. Now, in order to check that person, you will pretty much Google their name. And this is the question that we are going to go next, which is how to build a brand, a personal brand. So this is connected to that. But for now, let's stick to the freelancing jobs. So the first thing is that a boss will try to find your name. So he will Google your name, he will go through your social media, and maybe you don't think about those stuff, but maybe you should start like thinking of this kind of details. So the first thing is that let's say that your social media are real cool, you're a really nice person, you are like I don't know, let's say a happy, friendly person. This is awesome, this is cool. The second thing is that the boss or the company will want to see from you your projects and your skills. In order to see your projects, you have to have somewhere your projects. Maybe you have your projects on GitHub, maybe you have your projects on a portfolio. Again, that's all nice and good, but the problem is that if you are beginner, maybe you don't even have a portfolio. So my number one tip for freelancing is build a portfolio. And as soon as you build that portfolio, this will mean that you are reliable and you have some skills, you can do some projects and all stuff like that. Try to make a good portfolio. It doesn't have to be a perfect one, but just a good one to host your projects. And as you may know, I also do free reviews on portfolio, so if you want to take part on that, like, let me know. Okay, so this is my first tip for freelancing jobs. Now the other thing is like where to find freelancing jobs. Okay, as for where to find the freelancing jobs, again here like I think that I have like some good tips to give you. The first one, and maybe the most obvious one, is to ask your friends, your parents, or like, I don't know, like family members if they have a job that you can take. For example, a lot of people want to build a website, they don't know how to do it, so they search someone very quickly. So like my first advice is like, don't be afraid, just go out there and start asking, hey, do you want me to build for you a portfolio? Do you want me to build a website? Maybe they have a shop, an e-shop, or maybe they just got something really simple to just show information. And I think that this is the best case, because you will work with let's say family member or someone that you already know, so the communication probably will be a little bit easier than having a client into a different country, into a different time zone, and maybe you speak a different language, so you will even have some communication problems. Okay, I don't know guys, like in the chat again, let me know if you agree with me that sometimes finding a freelancing job can be quite hard. But okay, thank you for the comment, Pano. Okay, so the other thing is where to find freelancing jobs, and we already said the first thing, which is finding a freelancing job through friends and family. But the other thing is that you can check Upwork. So just type, if you don't know it, type upwork.com, and it's a freelancing site. You can find a lot of jobs there. Now again, there is like a small problem there, that at first you can apply to jobs, but after a while you need to buy some credits in order to find a freelancing job. So you need to invest some of your own money. So be really careful with where you apply for jobs. The second site that I would suggest is freelancer.com, and I think that this is the most well known. At freelancer.com there are a lot of people, a lot of developers, a lot of designers, so just be careful that it's going to be again a little bit difficult. But the good news there is that freelancer gives you, I don't know, every day or every other day, like they give you some, again, let's say credits that you can bid to a job, and in that way you don't have to pay, you don't have to give your own money. If you guys know like any other nice freelancer sites, let us know in the comments. I think that I know some others, like for example I do know Fiverr, but I wouldn't suggest that because the money are like too low, and usually people bid for jobs with $5, maybe more, but there are always people that will bid with $5, so maybe someone else would prefer the guy with the $5. So that's why I'm not going to suggest Fiverr, so stick to Upwork and Freelancer. I have worked with both of those sites. I like them both. I have found jobs from both of those sites, but sometimes I'm using like Freelancer more because I think that there is a better variety and because you don't have to pay your own money in order to find a job. Okay, let me very quickly check the chat, and again guys, like please write down comments. I always like to see your comments, and I want, as I said earlier, to do this as interactive as possible. So just give me a second. Okay, I got another question, and I'm going to copy that question as well into the TXT. Oops. Okay, we are here. if my keyboard is too loud, which I have like a sense that maybe my keyboard is too loud, is because I switched to the mechanical one, so it makes a lot of sound. I have like two keyboards, one is the mechanical one and one is the regular one. Sometimes when I'm working, I use the regular one because I'm call or in a video call like all the time, and I know that it's not very pleasant for the other person to listen to that tick 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 all the time. But now like I forgot about it and I have like the mechanical keyboard, so let me know if it's too loud, and I will try not to use it that much. Okay, let's change a little bit. So Amar, I also have your question, but we will go into that a little bit later. So for now, let's go to the third question, which says how to build a personal brand. This is like kind of a big question, so my answer here is like, be prepared. I'm going to say a lot of things. Also in the description box, if you check it, like I have already a video where I talk about personal branding. I think that it's something really important and not a lot of people pay much attention into that. So really guys, try to stick with me at least for that question, because I think that it's too important and not a lot of people knows that, okay? Just give me one more second to drink some water and I will start talking about personal branding. Okay, so what is a personal branding? Personal branding is when you try actually to promote yourself. And I know that it may sound a bit weird, but we are living in a world that it's kind of too social. You kind of have to have social media, you kind of have to have like a social life. And I don't want to promote that. I'm not a person that will say like, hey, be on the social media all the time, connect with people and blah blah blah. But because there are so many developers and because there are not many works out there that will do for you, and because the boss, the hiring manager, everyone, like trust me, everyone is going to Google your name, you want for them to find the best stuff that they can about you. Now, there are at least two cases. There is one case that they won't find anything about you. For example, if you don't have Facebook, if you don't have Instagram, if you don't have Twitter, if you don't have GitHub, maybe they will search your name and they won't find anything. Maybe they will just find a good project that you did on high school, but that doesn't really count. So this is one case, and this is how I used to be when I was like 20 years old. I didn't have Facebook, I didn't have Instagram, I didn't have Twitter, I didn't have a YouTube channel, I didn't have GitHub, I didn't have a portfolio, I didn't have anything. So I used to be one of those persons that even if you Googled my name, I think that you wouldn't be able to find much about me. And this is the one case, and the other case is that you have Facebook, you have Instagram, that you are using those social media things like in a very personal way. So maybe it's only you and your girlfriend, maybe it's only you and your mother, which is all like nice and good, but this is not something that a boss wants to know about you. Okay, yes, you have a social life, but the most important thing is like being a good at the job, not having like a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something like that. Or like maybe your boss will go to your Instagram and they will see your uncle like saying cute stuff under a photo of you. Okay, we kind of don't want that. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's not like the best thing, and you should always try for the best. We don't want like mediocre stuff here. We want only the best stuff, okay? So these are the two cases, but what's important is the third case that we are going to talk right now, which is the personal brand. Guys, listen to me well. Like, build a website. Start using Twitter professionally, and start using the other medias like Instagram and Facebook in a way that it's going to look good for anyone that is going to search it. Maybe you don't think that these things like Instagram and Facebook are Instagram and Facebook, maybe you think that they are not so important, but they kind of are. I would suggest you to start using one social like in a professional way. For me, I have chose to have Twitter in a professional way. So if you go to my Twitter, which by the way is my last name, Batsou and Elef. So if you go there, you will see that I mostly have sort of professional stuff and not so many things about my personal life. And this is because I know that a boss, or again like a hiring manager, if he's going to Google my name, I want him or her to know that I have like this experience, I'm working on those stuff, I have like those skills. So I try to promote myself through those things, and I would 100% suggest you to do the same. Start showing yourself more. Don't be afraid about that. I know that I used to be very shy. I didn't want to do that. I didn't even want to start using Twitter that much. I certainly didn't want to have like a YouTube channel, but this is like another story. But when I started doing the challenge of 100 days of code, then I started like using Twitter more and more. I started connecting with people, and not only to connect, but because I like really wanted to connect with people. I wanted to do something that would give me the energy and the motive to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep pushing myself. And I kind of believe that if you're watching like this video right now, you are in a similar position as I am. You also want to develop yourself. You also want some great stuff. And in order for that great stuff to happen, you have to push a little bit harder. So you have to try a little bit harder. So start doing things, start taking actions. Like build your Twitter in a nice way. Start using GitHub and have there like your good projects. Start doing things, okay? The other thing about personal branding is obviously having a portfolio and a website about yourself. But because I feel that I'm talking like too much time about personal branding, I'm not going into that like right now. But if you're more interested about that, like let me know, and maybe later we can switch and we can go back to personal branding. Okay, again, quickly let me check the chat, and I can see like your comments a little bit better. Again, like please like be free and type everything that you want into the chat so we can make it like quite interactive. Okay, let me also grab that question from Amar, and we will go into that in a bit. So guys, just please be a little patient. Hello from India. I can see that we have a lot of people from India, so hello there, and as always, like thank you very much for your support. Okay, I think that these two questions are quite connected, so we will check that. And okay, I saw now a few more questions. So again, guys, as I said, like just give me some time and I will try to answer all of your questions. I hope that's okay by you. Okay, I just saw another question about motivation, and I like talking about motivation and inspiration. So yeah, I do like those kind of stuff. Okay, so I got all of your questions, and you can check them in the text box here. We covered the third one. Cool. Let's go to the fourth question, and let me read it one time. It says, I'm a computer science student and I'm started learning Python. How can I learn Python myself at home? This is a very good question, and thank you for asking me that. I think that I will answer in a more general way, so it's not going to be applied only for Python, but it's going to be applied in all of the languages, in all of the programming languages. So in order to learn a language, you need at least two things. I don't know why I always use that sentence, like at least two things, but you need like at least two things. One of them is like watching a tutorial, number one, and the second thing is doing and acting. A lot of people like do a mistake. Let's say they only watch tutorials. so they never build anything. It's easy to watch a tutorial. You just sit back, you relax, and you watch the tutorial, and it's fine. Or there are other people that will watch the tutorial, and at the same time as the tutorial goes, they will also like start typing the same things that the guy from the tutorial is doing. But this is not the best solution, and this is also why a lot of people, I'm afraid, fail at a new language. Yes, it's a nice thing, obviously, like watch the tutorial, it's the only way that you will learn. Watch the tutorial, or like reading tutorials or going through the documentation, or like all of these are nice ways. And like go to YouTube, Udemy, Udacity, Coursera, and Free.com, and you will find like a lot of programming courses. But the other thing that a lot of people fail to do is building projects, and really, really, really keep that in mind. Like, build projects. There is no way that you will learn something only by watching another dude typing something and like maybe you even copy paste that. No, this is not a good way. Okay, build on your own, build your own stuff, watch the tutorial, try to understand everything, don't be in a rush. Like, I have to admit it for myself that there were some times that I just wanted to see the tutorial, and I thought that by watching the tutorial, then magically I would learn everything. But this is not the case. The only way to learn is by start doing things on yourself. It's okay to go back to the tutorial, it's okay to rewatch a video, it's okay to go back to the directions, it's okay to read again and again and again the documentation. It's actually something that I would recommend, but start building things. Build things, ask for feedback, check what other people do, check for resources in order to learn more. Don't only stick to one video or one tutorial, like check other tutors and build on your own. Okay, I hope that my answer was like good enough for you. Okay, very quickly I'm going to check the chat again. And okay, let me also take that question. Okay, this is the 9th question. And again, guys, like please continue with the questions. It says raise your voice. Okay. Okay, I hope that now maybe you will be able to hear me a little bit better. I don't know. Okay, I see that some people say that they cannot hear me very well, so it's maybe I am sitting a little bit far away from the camera and the microphone, but I hope that you can hear me quite well. Okay. Which programming language you learn first, please tell me. Okay, cool. Because you can see that maybe you cannot hear me very well, I will try to be a little bit closer to the microphone and to the camera. But when I am like too close to the camera, you cannot see like my hands, and I'm like literally all the time moving my hands. And I want you also to see like these little things and these little details. But okay, I will try to speak as loud as I can. So yeah, okay, let's do that. So which is the next question? We covered the 4th one, and now we are in the 5th question that says, what is the difference between CSS layouts like grid, flexbox, floats? Are they only special use case tools, or any of them can be used to develop a page from scratch? Also easy to use and maintain. Okay, again, this is a pretty good question. I'm working quite a lot with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so I hope that you can like, I hope that I can give you like a good answer. Also, like, thank you in the comments, because now I just saw that you can hear me well, so this is fine. So all those things that you mentioned about CSS, we can use all of them. Sometimes we use only one type of them, so sometimes we will only use grid, sometimes we will only use flexbox and stuff like that. All of those things can help you to build a website from scratch. These things are like different technologies of, let's say, CSS, and these are again, let's say, kind of libraries that they help you into your CSS. They give you some extra stuff that maybe like only CSS, or like some years ago CSS didn't have those things. But if you want to develop a web page from scratch, you can obviously use one of those things that you mentioned. Check all of those things and try to find which one is more helpful for you. Maybe for me it's Flexbox, but maybe for another person is Grid. So again, like, do whatever feels best for you. And the other part of the question that says which one is easy to learn and maintain, I think that all of them are quite easy to learn. I don't think that they will take you a lot of time to learning them. Maybe they will take a lot of time to master them, because everything like needs time in order for you to master it. But if you're starting using it, and obviously like if you want to build a website from scratch, then you will use the same things a lot of times. So this will help you also to master those things. So and as for what is easy to maintain, I think that all of them have like the same easiness or difficulty in order to maintain them. I don't think that it's like too difficult to maintain CSS, because it's not that they change so quickly. It's not that CSS is changing so quickly. So I think that you won't have a problem into that. Okay, so now we are done with the fifth question. So we are done with that question. I will go to the sixth one, but I just saw a question that says how to start freelancing, and I'm really sorry about that, but we covered the freelancing part in the beginning of this live stream, so I'm not going to go through that again. But like, you can obviously, after watching the live right now, you can go in the first few minutes and you will find the freelancing question and my answer. Okay, so again, just give me a second to drink some water. Okay, when I talk too much, then I need some water. And also guys, again, feel free, and let's make that Q&A more interactive, so feel free to type down more questions. Now let's go to the sixth one, which says, have you used Bootstrap version 5? If yes, does it make our life easy? Your most favorite CSS framework and why? So the first question, the first part here about Bootstrap version 5, to be honest, no, I haven't used Bootstrap version 5. I think that if you're coming from Bootstrap 3 or 4, then the next version is going to be at first a little bit difficult to master it, but obviously like eventually you will do it. I can't give you a very specific answer because, as I said, I haven't worked with version 5, but I remember, for example, when I was in version 3 and I wanted to change to version 4, it took me some time to learn like all the new stuff. And because like maybe at first there are not a lot of resources, so maybe you are checking something online and you cannot find it. So just remember that at first it maybe be a little bit more difficult for you to learn it or to master it, but eventually I think that it will be a good change, and like you kind of have to do it. You have to go with the flow. The second part says, which is your favorite CSS framework and why? Well, I think that I would go for Bootstrap. Obviously all of them are good, but I think that I would go for Bootstrap because it's the one that it comes like more easily and more naturally to me. I started with Bootstrap, so I think that I would go to Bootstrap as well in the next like job, let's say. Now at my current work, we are not using like any framework, so we are just writing like pure CSS, which personally like I don't mind, I love that. But I would go like to Bootstrap, as I mentioned, but I would also try to integrate some more modern techniques or libraries like Flexbox or Grid, and I would not only use CSS, but I would also use less or SAS or other techniques like BEM and stuff like that. I think that it's nice to change and also challenge myself. As I said, maybe bootstrap is kind of, let's say, easy to me because I have worked a lot with it, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to learn or master something else. And I don't feel that I can, or like I know in the best level that I could know Flexbox or Grid. It's not like difficult to learn them, it's just that I haven't like worked so much on my own on learning like these two techniques. Okay, so we also have like another question which says when your next live is going to come. I'm not sure, maybe the next weekend. What do you guys think? Actually, you can leave it down in the comments if you want me to make another live stream the next weekend, maybe on Sunday. We will see. I'm not really sure yet, and I cannot give you like a clear answer because maybe there is like one small chance that maybe I will be traveling the next weekend, so I'm not going to have all my gear in order to do a live stream. Okay, cool. Let's go to the seventh question, and that says, what does your normal day look like during these times? How do you spend your day? Oh, thank you very much for that question. That's a lovely question, but I will try to be quite quickly because I'm not sure if all of you guys like are interested about my day. Currently I'm working from home, so I'm working 8.5 hours from home, and after that I am a morning person, so I will wake usually like not very early. I know that people in India, for example, they're waking like kind of too early, or mainly people in Europe, again, they are like waking up kind of too early. I am a morning person, but it's not like that I'm waking up super early. I'm usually going to wake up around 7 or 7:30, and because like I'm working from home, I don't have to travel or anything. It doesn't take me a lot of time to prepare myself. I just make breakfast and then I can start working, so it's easy. So yes, my day include working, then taking some time to relax, maybe like an hour or so, and then like I will read a little bit, but I will read like articles and tech stuff, like tech news and this kind of stuff. This will take me like not much, maybe half to 1 hour, and from those stuff I also take inspiration to create content. And I don't know if you are like very familiar with that, but I have like started created content obviously here for YouTube, but also for Instagram. So if you want to check me on Instagram, like this is my name, you can also find me there. And so I do take some time to create some content for Instagram, and then I do take some time to be on social media because, as I said earlier, I think that it's quite important to use your social media in a professional way. So I'm going through Twitter, I will try to connect with people, I will try to see what other people are up to, I will try to give feedback, I will ask for feedback for my own projects, I would ask you guys questions on Twitter, I will try to reply to as many questions as I can, and then I will also go to Instagram, I will devote some time there, and I will again like answer question, ask for feedback, give feedback, and all of these kind of things. So it maybe seems something small, but it takes time. So after I'm done with that as well, on my day I will try to study for a couple of hours. So as I said, maybe we have like new people here, but as I said, I also do a master's in graphical arts and multimedia. I'm actually in my last year, which means that I have to do a diploma thesis. My thesis is about UX, so I have to study about that as well. And after that, so usually at 8 o'clock in the evening or at 9 o'clock in the evening, I will try to go to the gym. I don't go to the gym every day, but I try to go 3 to 4 times in a week. And after going to the gym, I'm like dead. I cannot do anything. I just want to take a shower, eat, and relax. And these are the things that I do like at night. But yeah, so pretty much that's how I spent my day. I hope that I covered you. So let's go again to the chat and let me very quickly check if we have like any new question, and then we can continue. Okay, let me type over here Instagram. Okay, so then we will continue with the 8th question. Just I will check the chat quite quickly. Okay, Lucas, thank you very much for the question. Just please be a little bit patient and I will try to answer it in a bit. And we also have another question here. Okay, this is a big question, Amar. I didn't read it, but I'm going to do that in a bit, so please be patient as well. We were in the 8th question, and the 8th question says how to stay motivated while learning programming. Okay, so I think that this is a good question because a lot of people find coding a hard thing, a hard task, and I would agree with that. I don't think that coding is easy, sorry. I think that it is hard. So start by doing the small things, start doing the things that you know that you're good at, and this will help you in your motivation. This will help you feeling better about yourself. Definitely like stop comparing yourself to others. Maybe you see some senior developers and maybe they are doing like awesome stuff, maybe they are doing fast like very quickly, but again, like don't compare yourself to those people. Just stay focused into your goals. And something really important is that you cannot do everything in just one day. You cannot do everything in 1 week or 1 month. Give yourself some time to learn and give yourself some time to do projects. While you're doing projects, just start doing them. Don't expect them to be perfect. But do them and do as more as you can. By practicing, you will get better. I'm laughing because practice is like literally my motto. If you want to be good at something, practice. This is something that I always say, not only to you guys but also to myself. I have difficulties in learning. I'm not one of those people that like can cut something very quickly. No, I'm not one of those people. I really have to try. I really have to sit down. But my motivation is like, I want to be good at that. As I said earlier, I don't want to be a mediocre. I don't want also to be a perfectionist, because I know that if I'm being a perfectionist, this won't help me in doing projects, because those projects are never going to finish, because I will always have something to improve. So don't be a perfectionist, just start doing. And if you want something a lot, if you want to be a programmer, if you want to be a successful programmer, your motivation will always be there. And it's not only motivation, it's only determination. Be determined and say, yes, I am going to do that. Yes, I'm going to stick on that. I'm not going out today. I'm not going out to the cinemas. I'm not going out with friends. I'm not going to watch movies. I'm not going to play video games. No, I will sit down and I will code. This is determination, okay? Thank you. Thank you for that question, because I'm very passionate about that, so I can talk a lot about motivation. Again, just please give me a second because it's kind of too hot here, so I really need to fix my hair a bit. Okay. Hi. I saw some new people into the comments, so thank you very much, guys. I'm really glad that I can see you being here, and I really like that we are like more interactive. Okay, I can see that okay, cool. I have like a new question, and please like bear with me, and I'm going to answer your question again like pretty soon, sorry. But for now, let's go to the 9th question that says best resources to start on JavaScript for a college student. For me, the best resources are from FreeCodeCamp. I believe that they have done like an amazing job with the small exercises and the challenges, and because it's free, I think that it's the best thing that you could do is going through the free code camp challenges, and they will also help you build a portfolio, which, as I said, it's super important. If you don't know free code camp, just type down freecodecamp.org and you will find it. And the second source that I would suggest you is obviously YouTube, and I would say YouTube because it's free. Find a good teacher there and stick to that. If you type in YouTube like JavaScript tutorial for beginners, you will find like a lot of stuff. I remember the tutorials that I used to watch, but because I think that there are like many years since the last time that I was like searching for JavaScript tutorials, I don't think that even if I mention something is going to be like, I think that you should search something more modern. So I don't have like a good suggestion there, because I used to search for tutorials like 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. So I don't think that I have like a good answer for you. But to conclude, 1 is Free Code Camp, 2 is YouTube, and 3 is Udemy. Just when you're searching courses on Udemy, be very careful checking the score. For example, is it 4 stars, is it 5 stars, and also checking the reviews. The reviews can be very helpful. If you're not a native English speaker, then also check the tutor, because sometimes the people that are teaching in Udemy, they may have like a weird accent, and maybe although they are great in what they are doing and maybe their skills are like really good, maybe you can't understand their accent very well. So also do take care of that as well. Okay, so let's go to the next question, which says, how can we avoid Facebook, Instagram browsing addicting when programming? Okay guys, this is also a very good question. Okay, just give me a second to answer that question, because I need like to change my position. Okay, and also let me drink some water. Okay, thank you. If you have like more questions, again, feel free to type them down. We are not in a hurry. So the question says how to avoid like checking all the social media and distracting ourselves from that. And my answer here would be to, oh my god, like I see that my image is lacking a little bit. Okay, I don't know why is that. Anyway, I will continue, and I hope that you can hear me well. The thing is that take your phone away. So if I am like right here and I am studying, then my phone will be on silent. My phone is always on silent, so the voices and the notifications will not distract me. And the other thing is put it on airplane mode, so you won't use the Wi-Fi, so you won't again like listen to all those notifications and stuff like that. And the third thing is that put your phone into another room, so it's going to be difficult for you to standing up all time to catch up your phone. And the fourth thing is that be focused and remember why you started doing that, why you started coding, why you started learning. And I know that it can be hard, and I know that especially when you are like searching for something, or you don't know for something, that is a solution would be to check your social media, but like please don't do that. Yeah, so my biggest tips here would be to have your phone away, not in the same room that you are studying or coding, and have it on silent mode and on airplane mode. These are my 2 biggest tips. Okay, I think that there maybe is a problem as my image is stuck. Okay, but I hope that you can still listen to me well. Okay, I think that now I am back. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next question, and I hope that you can still like hear me and see me like pretty well. And the other question, so the 11th question It says which programming language you learn firstly, and it says like and C++. Okay, I think that these are like the first two things that I learned, like C and C++, and maybe later I also learned a little bit of Java, but as I said, like I was still in the university, so I didn't learn all those languages like in a high level. I only learned like the basic of those things, of those programming languages, and I especially remember that C was a bit hard for me, you know, with the pointers and this kind of stuff. And also, like, I'm not very used into working in object-oriented programming languages, obviously as C, C++, and Java. So even now, it's a bit difficult for me, like working with with those languages. But as I said, I'm always trying and I'm always doing the best that I can do. Okay, the screen is stuck. I know, guys, that the screen is stuck, but I'm not sure why it's stuck and how I can change that. Yep, I'm sorry for that. Okay, I'm not really sure what's going on with the camera, so please give me a second and maybe I can try to fix that as well. So, yep, just please be a little bit more patient with me. And I can check like my things here. Okay. So about the screen, I'm not sure that I can find a quick solution. I will try to close my camera and reopen it, and maybe this will help. Let's check that. Okay. I hope that you are still with me. Okay. Okay. I will try to connect again with my camera, and I hope that you can see me a little bit better. Okay, I think that we are like in a good spot right now. Okay. I'm not sure what happens with the camera. So, yep, guys, I think that we might have a problem with the camera, but I will be a little bit quicker with the next questions, because I think that it's better if you can see me, and now obviously you cannot see me, and that's not the point of that. Okay, so let's continue a little bit more with the questions. And I hope that my camera is going to be fixed soon. I tried to close it and reopening it, but it doesn't seem to work as it should work, so I'm not sure what the problem is. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave my phone for now, and let's go back to the questions. So the 12th question says, hi, how do you organize your work tasks or common tasks? Do you use any tool? Cheers from Colombia. Hi to Colombia as well. And I organize my tasks using either Trello for big tasks, or for tasks that it will take me time to fulfill them, and for tasks that are like everyday tasks or like things such as my to-do list, then all those things are coming like from written them down in a paper. I think that pen and paper is the most helpful one, at least for me. And when I use like pen and paper, then like I write everything down as I said, and it's quicker. I can like remember everything. I can check them off the list. So I think that pen and paper is the best one. But as I said, if I have like something bigger, then I would use Trello. If you don't know Trello, then it's like an online tool and you can check it at trello.com. Or sometimes I even use like the Google Drive functionalities, such as the notes in Google Drive. They are also kind of helpful. So yeah, these are the tools that I am using them. And again, from Colombia, I am from Greece, but hi. Again, in the chat, I see that some of you guys says that the audio is bad. Some say that the audio is good. I'm afraid that the audio will remain as it is for now. And yes, I am using the Droid Cam. And I didn't used to have a problem, so now I'm not really sure what happened with the Droid Cam. But I promise that the next time this thing is going to be better. Okay, let's continue to the other question that says, how did you teach yourself Angular with TypeScript? I found it really hard to remember all the concept. What was your strategy to learn and master it? Are you still using Angular in your projects? Okay, about that question, I don't think that it's like... Or, okay, I cannot answer that question because I don't know Angular. There is a thing that a lot of people are like misconcepting things. It's one thing AngularJS, which is like the first Angular, and it's another thing Angular. So I don't know Angular, I only know AngularJS, and AngularJS is not using TypeScript. So I'm afraid that I cannot like help you with this part of the questions. But if we were talking about AngularJS, as I said, is using JavaScript, so I know JavaScript, and I am still using AngularJS into my projects. I use AngularJS at my work. So yes, that's it about AngularJS, but definitely not for Angular, okay? Okay, let's continue to the other question, which is actually the 14th one. Why did you decide to learn code? Okay, this is like a nice question, and thank you very much for that particular question. And I learned code while I was in the university, as I said. I wanted to go in an engineering university. So in an engineering university, you obviously learn a lot of things about maths and physics, and not so many things about coding. But when I was about to do my first internship, I decided to search for an internship as a front-end developer, and I started using some front-end technologies, and I saw that I like all of those things. So I said maybe I should stick to that, and probably I should learn code better. And that's how I decided to learn coding, because I did my first front-end job, my first front-end internship, and I really like all those possibilities and all those opportunities that code can give you. And for me, coding is a very creative thing, and you can do whatever you like. You can build your own stuff, and I like the creativity. And also I like coding because for me it's like puzzles, and I like solving puzzles, and again like try to do the best thing that I can do. And because I like puzzles, and I find a lot of similarities between puzzles and algorithms, so algorithms is coding, because I find many similarities between these two things. That's why I love coding, and I want to continue coding. Okay, so now I see that some more of you guys had problems with Droid Cam, so I would definitely check that into my next live. But for now, I also think that there are not many more questions. So thank you very, very much for watching me today, or like at least now in the last couple of minutes you couldn't hear me very well, and you definitely couldn't see me very well. So I hope that you guys had like a nice time with me, And if you don't have like any other questions, I think that I will leave you for now. But definitely, like, thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for speaking with me. And yeah, now as I just saw another question that says, which YouTube tech channel do you follow, which ones are your favorite, and can you able to paste their names here? This is a very good question, Amar, but I think that because I don't want to forget any name, any of the people that I follow on YouTube, I think that as soon as I finish that live, I'm going to add all the names and all the channels into the description box, because if I'm about to do it like right now, I'm sure that I will forget some names, or I might even like spell wrong some of those names of the peoples that I follow, so I want to be like good at that. And I'm not sure, but I think you are not an English native speaker. If that's right, how did you learn it? Thank you, Lucas, for the question. And no, I'm not a native English speaker. Actually, I think that I do mistakes quite a lot, and my pronunciation, like, I know that it's not the best. I started learning English in school. As a kid, I was going into a public school, and the education there about English is not the best one, but you are like doing some basic things. So after that, most of the kids like here in Greece, they go to private schools in order to learn English, and they start doing that by the age of 10 or 11, or maybe like 7 and 8. I just started learning English when I was 10, and by the time of 15 or 16, they usually know, or they usually have like the highest level of education that they can into their English. And I also think that something that really has helped me with my English education is that I also like talk a lot in English. I like do those YouTube videos in English. I write articles in English. At my work, we usually speak English because not all of the people are from Greece. So that's how I think that I have learned English, and I have like improved my English over the last couple of years. So that was it, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I hope that the next week we are going to have another live with not a lot of problems from the audio or like the visual thing. So see you all like really soon. Bye bye.